Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of deck analytics. And today in Magic Land, the land of Magic the Gathering, I'm gonna be covering my commander deck, Kudo, King Among Bears. He definitely is a king among bears, and his lovely wife, who is queen among bears, I do not have. I'll have to figure out where she is and get her. This is a actually little trippy deck. It's a little quirky. I'm not gonna explain what it is. I'm going to have to show you what it is. But it's kind of I wouldn't say it's a joke deck or anything because I had played it seriously among the commander pods. But as one of the pod players put it, it's weird, just the way I like it. It gets weirder and weirder, and I can assure you the deck analytics is going to be hilarious when you see what it looks like. um, but for the thematics of this deck, I was trying to find Rhys the Redeemed, and let me show you what he looked like. Let me show you what he is here on Scryfall. I'm gonna go take it to the view screen. So this is what I was looking for, which is Rhys the Redeemed. Where is he at? Here we are. This is Rhys the Redeemed. I was trying to find him because I like what he brings to the table. He's one hybrid green white and legendary creature elf warrior. For 2 mana and a hybrid green white tap, you get to create a 1/1 green and white elf warrior creature token. And for 4 mana and 2 hybrid green and white in a tap, you for each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Now keep in mind, it says each creature token, not just specifically your elf warriors. That means that any other creature tokens you have on the field will also be copied. He's a 1/1 creature. And very straightforward, no rulings on it. And I've been trying to look for this card for the longest time. I don't know if I want to order it, but I wanted it for this particular deck for a very particular reason. Unfortunately, I came across Kudo, and Kudo proved to be way better, but it doesn't fit what I originally wanted to do with this deck. So I'm still up in the air because given the way that this deck is, it's kind of like, swing wide with creature tokens or swing up with Kudo. So it's a tough decision. It's like it's not wrong. Neither commander is wrong. I still could throw Rhys into the deck. No doubt, no doubt to that. But he could still be the commander too if I wanted. So basically, it's a it's a tough one. It's a tough one, and this is a tough deck to build because of how it's designed. But I can tell you this right now: when I played Kudo, the whole entire pod got screwed hard. The number of times they were killing Kudo off because of his effect. Is what's got it's what's keeping me playing him, but I want the thematics too. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one. So let me give you let's do the walkthrough. Let's walk you through Kudo, King Among Bears commander. Been working on a lot of commander decks lately. I finished Okagachi and created a whole new deck, Vile Smasher Grenadier. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting thing once I start doing all the tweaking and teching. So let's start off with the walkthrough. We got Kudo, King Among Bears, 1 green and a white, legendary creature bear. Other creatures have base power and toughness 2/2 and are bears in addition to the other types. 2/2 creature. Basically, and when they mean other creatures, they mean all creatures. My creatures, my opponent's creatures, every creature that comes out in the field becomes a bear. But everything else is retained. Like, you still keep your creature types, your effects, and everything. You're just a bear. You just got bear added to it. That's what makes this so funny. I wanted to make this a Hydra deck. Wanted to make a Hydra deck with Kudo, but he fit way better in this particular deck, which was a tough, a tough want in the grand scheme of things. Let me put this here. Forests. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 forests. We got 12 forests. And we got 12 plains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plains. We got Scattered Grove. Land, Forest Plains. Tap to add green or white. Grows into the battlefield tap. Cycling 2. 2 mana. Discard, draw a card. Creosote Heath. Man, I really love these deserts from Thunder Junction. I love them a lot. Honestly, I feel like every dang deck should have a desert, have one of these deserts, no matter what. Creosote Heath. Land, desert. Creosote Heath enters the battlefield tap. When Heath enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. Tap to add green or white. Botanical Plaza. Plaza enters the battlefield tap. Tap to add green or white. 2 mana of green and a white. Tap. Sacrifice the plaza. Draw a card. Selesnya Sanctuary enters the battlefield. Tap. When Sanctuary enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap to add green and white. Fortified Village. As Village enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or plains card from your hand. If you don't, Village enters the battlefield. Tap. Tap to add green or white. Crows and Verge. Verge enters the battlefield. Tap. Tap to add 1 colorless. 2 mana and a tap. Sacrifice Verge. Search your library for a forest and a plains card. Forest and a plains card. Put them onto the battlefield. Tap. Then shuffle. Command Tower. Everyone's favorite. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Access Tunnel. Tap to add 1 colorless. 3 mana and a tap. Target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. Myriad Landscape. Landscape enters the battlefield. Tap. Tap to add 1 colorless. 2 mana and a tap. Sacrifice Landscape. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards that share a land type. Put them onto the battlefield. Tap. Then shuffle. Nesting Grounds. Tap to add 1 colorless. 1 mana and a tap. Move a counter from target permanent you control onto another target permanent. Activate only as a sorcery. Escape Tunnel. Tap to sacrifice Tunnel. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle. Tap, sacrifice Tunnel. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that particular card, quite honestly. Llanowar Elves. 1 mana. Elves, tap, add 1 green to your mana pool. This ability is played as an interrupt, 1/1 creature. I always wanted to say that. Play as an interrupt. You know how long it's been since I ever say interrupt? Script Sprites, 1 green. Fairies, flying, 1/1 creature. Draga Tree Speaker, 1 green. Elf Druid, level up, 1 mana and a green. For 1 mana and a green, put a level counter on this. Level up only as a sorcery. 1/1 creature. Level 1 through 4. Tap to add 2 green to your mana pool. 1/2 creature. Level 5 and up. Elves you control have tap. Add 2 green to your mana pool. 1/4 creature. I don't know if I have another one of these, but if this is my only one, he may have to go if I decide to build an elf deck, because this is very good for an elf deck. Side Leopard, 1 green. Cat. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Side Leopard gets +1/+1 until end of turn. 1/1 creature. Brown Oofy. 1 green. Oofy. 1 mana and a green. Tap. Counter target artifact ability requiring an activation cost. Play this ability as an interrupt. 1/1 creature. Great way to stop those Niveneurial discs. Scoop Mob, 1 green. Insect. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 5 or more lands, put 4 +1/+1 counters on Scoop Mob. 1/1 creature. What's great about this is that it's at any time during your upkeep. There's that you get the +1/+1 counters when you have 5 or more lands. You don't have to wait on any other specific conditions. It's pretty good. Finhorn Elves, 1 green. Elves, tap to add green to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. 1/1 creature. Generous Visitor, 1 green. Spirit, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, 1/1 creature. Charging Badger, 1 mana. Badger, trample, 1/1 creature. Snarling Wolf, 1 green. Wolf, for 1 mana and a green. Snarling Wolf gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn, 1/1 creature. Ankle Biter, 1 green. Snake, Death Touch, 1/1 creature. Fang of Shigeki, 1 green. Enchantment creature. Snake Ninja, Death Touch, 1/1 creature. Rootwalla, Basking Rootwalla. Here's a blast from the past. 1 green. Lizard, 1 mana and a green. Basking Rootwalla gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Play this ability only once each turn. Madness 0. Let me read the new rulings on this here, because this text here changed exponentially since got eroded heavily since the last time I've played this card, and Madness got changed a lot. So let me just read this out loud. All right. Madness 0. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. There you go. So basically, the way they changed this is that it goes into let me see here. What how do they explain this? If this card's ability is activated by 1 player, then okay, so it doesn't say how long this happens. It's supposed to happen immediately once it goes into exile. And this is actually Madness actually is actually a big deal, and I may have to take that into consideration now that it goes into exile. Regarding another Vile Smasher, eventually I'll come to it, and you'll see what Vile Smasher does. But I didn't even think about that. I do have Madness. Yeah. Divine Elf, 1 green. Elf, trample, 1/1 creature. Llanowar Stalker, 1 green. Elf warrior. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Llanowar Stalker gets +1/+0 until end of turn. 1/1 creature. Strength of the Coalition, 1 green. Instant. Kicker, 2 mana and a white. You may pay an additional 2 mana and a white as you cast this spell. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If this spell was kicked, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Crumble, 1 green, instant. Bury target artifact. That artifact's controller gains an amount of life equal to its total casting cost. Hardened Scales, 1 green, enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are placed on it instead. Rancor, 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and trample. When Rancor is put into a graveyard from play, return Rancor to its owner's hand. Predatory Hunger, 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Whenever any opponent successfully casts a spell, whenever any opponent successfully casts a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. Moltani's Harmony, 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spider Climb, 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. You may choose to play Spider Climb as an instant. If you do, bury it at end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +0/+3 and can block creatures with flying. Briar Shield, 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Sacrifice Briar Shield. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Wild Growth, 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, it produces an additional green. Pick Your Poison, 1 green. Sorcery, choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. Great way to kill off those flyers. Commune with Spirits, 1 green. Sorcery, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment or a land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Commune with Nature, 1 green. Sorcery, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Adventurous Impulse, 1 green. Sorcery, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Moth Rider Patrol, 1 white. Creature, Fox Warrior, flying, 3 mana, a white, tap. Tap target creature, 1/1 creature. This is a 1/1 creature. Unholy Officiant, 1 white. Vampire Cleric, Vigilance, 4 mana and a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on Unholy Officiant, 1/2 creature. Soul Warden, 1 white. Human Cleric, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. This is a 1/1 creature. Miner's Guidewing, 1 white. Bird, flying, vigilance. When Miner's Guidewing dies, target creature you control explores. Reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Then put the card back or put it into your graveyard. Hopeful Initiate, 1 white. Human Warlock, training. Whenever this creature attacks with another creature with power, with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. For 2 mana on white, remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among creatures you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. 1/2 creature. Not bad. Favorite Hoplite, 1 mana, 1 white. Human Soldier, Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Favorite Hoplite, put a +1/+1 counter on Favorite Hoplite and prevent all damage that would be dealt to it this turn. 1/2 creature. Hello, auras. Warden of the Inner Sky, 1 white. Human Soldier. As long as Warden of the Inner Sky has 3 or more counters on it, it has Flying and Vigilance. Tap 3 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on Warden of the Sky. Scry 1. Activate only as a sorcery. Isamaru, Hound of Konda, 1 white. Legendary creature Hound, 2/2 creature. Golden Glow Moth, 1 white. Insect, flying. Whenever Golden Glow Moth blocks, you may gain 4 life. 0/1 creature. Mystic Penitent, 1 white. Nomad Mystic. Vigilance. Attacking doesn't cause Mystic Penitent to tap. Threshold. Mystic Penitent gets +1/+1 and has flying. You have Threshold as long as you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Tundra Wolves. How about an oldie here? 1 white. Wolves. First strike. 1/1 creature. I think did they change that? Tundra Wolves. The creature type, or is it still wolves? Let's see here. Tundra Wolves. Yeah, there's still a wolf type. Because it says wolves. This has the old text saying summon wolves, plural, but it's just wolf, singular. Guide of Souls, 1 white. Human Cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and get 1 energy counter. Whenever you attack, you may pay 3 energy counters. When you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter on target attacking creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other types. A 1/2 creature. This is actually a pretty solid card. Because whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you get a life and an energy. So if I get 3, per turn, and it's an ETB, which means that if I get more and more creatures, this is why Rhys is such an important card. I feel it's more important than anything else, because every time I bring out an elf creature, what I'm saying, with Rhys, I get this energy counter if I have Guide of Souls, and then I could put +1/+1 counters and flying counter and make creatures into angels, angel types. Pretty good card. That's a very, very good card. It's a 1/2 creature. Lantern Kami, 1 white. Spirit, flying, 1/1 creature. Soul's Attendant, the other soul sister. 1 mana, 1 white mana. Human Cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. 1/1 creature. Suntail Hawk, 1 white. Bird, flying, 1/1. Rafine's Guidance, 1 mana, enchantment aura, enchanted creature gets +1/+1. You may cast Guidance from your graveyard by paying 2 mana and a white rather than paying its mana cost. Very interesting. That's a very interesting thing. Path to Exile, 1 white, instant, exile target creature. Its controller may search your library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Quiet Purity, 1 white, instant arcane, destroy target enchantment. Vigilance, 1 white, enchant creature, enchantment aura, enchanted creature has vigilance, attacking doesn't cause it to tap. Ethereal Haze, 1 white, instant, arcane. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by this creature this turn. Excuse me. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by creatures this turn. Requisition Raid, 1 white, sorcery, spree. Choose 1 or more additional quests. Plus 1 mana, destroy target artifact. Plus 1 mana, destroy target enchantment. Plus 1 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls. Holy Strength, 1 mana, enchantment aura. Enchant creature, enchanted creature gets +1/+2. Holy Day, 1 white, instant, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Armor of Faith, 1 white, enchantment aura. Enchant creature, enchanted creature gets +1/+1. 1 white, enchanted creature gets +0/+1 until end of turn. Lifelink, 1 white, enchantment aura, enchanted creature has lifelink. Damage dealt by creatures also causes its controller to gain that much life. Swords to Plowshares, 1 white, instant, exile target creature, its controller gains life equal to its power. Legion's Landing, 1 white, legendary enchantment. When Legion's Landing enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, transform Legion's Landing. Transform! Adanto, the First Fort, legendary land, transforms from Legion's Landing. Tap to add 1 white to your mana pool. 2 mana and a white, tap, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. Hyena Umbra, 1 white, enchantment aura, enchant creature, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has first strike. Totem armor, if enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. Nice. Sol Ring, everyone's favorite staple, 1 mana, artifact, tap to add 2 colorless. Manifold Key, 1 mana, artifact. For 1 mana and a tap, untap another target artifact. For 3 mana and a tap, target creature can't be blocked this turn. Sensei's Defining Top, 1 mana, artifact. For 1 mana, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. Tap to draw a card, then put Sensei's Defining Top on top of its owner's library. Stone of Eric, 1 mana, legendary artifact. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. 2 mana and a tap, sacrifice stone. Exile target player's graveyard, draw a card. Short Sword, 1 mana, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Equip 1 mana. For 1 mana attached to target creature you control, equip only as a sorcery. Bone Splitter, 1 mana, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Equip 1 mana. Blade of the Blood Chief, 1 mana, artifact equipment. Whenever a creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature. If equipped creature is a vampire, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it instead. Equip 1 mana. And Tarian Soul Cleaver, 1 mana, legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature has vigilance. Whenever another artifact or creature is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature. Equip for 2 mana. How you like that? It's a 1 mana deck. It's a 1 mana commander. How do you like that? If you like that, hit the like button. So that's basically what this whole deck is about. It's all about the mana, baby. Just 1 mana. 1 mana drops at every turn. And this is where the big debate comes in, because Rhys the Redeemed as a commander is 1 mana, which fits the entire 1 mana deck as a theme. And it provides creatures, which is great because it could build an army, especially if I can duplicate the army with the help of a few cards. But what makes Kudo just as good as Rhys is where Rhys will give me creatures. Kudo makes my 1/1 and 1/2 and 2/1 creatures 2/2 creatures. Basically, Kudo gives them an instant +1/+1 boost, and they get the bear type. And I don't know if there's any other if there's any cards that could benefit from it, but basically Kudo just helps them out. And he said, and because he only costs 2 mana to drop, a green and a white, he comes out very, very fast, very fast. And that's a big deal, getting it out as quickly as possible. So pretty much it's a standard fare deck. I threw in equipment cards because they can boost up. Because they can help boost up creatures, giving them +1/+1s and +2s. Stone of Eric is great because anytime anybody kills off a creature, because it says very clearly if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. So it doesn't even have to happen during. It doesn't have to be directly from me. It could be anybody. Anybody who kills a creature off from any of my opponents, I'll get that benefit. Sensei's Divining Top, I forgot that I had this card. It was very obvious. That needed to go in there. Manifold Key, because I'm dealing with 1/1 creatures and sometimes 2/2 when Kudo comes out, they're blockable. Everybody can block them out very easily. So Manifold Key is to help out with making them unblockable, alongside with the Secret Passage and Escape Tunnel. I don't know. Sol Ring is still debatable for this deck because it's just one pip, one color pip. All of these are one color pip, and the only ones that's benefiting from colorless is artifacts and a few select cards that have colorless cost in it. But I don't think there's enough to really justify it. See, like Adanto requires 2, so Sol Ring can help it out. What else can help it out? Let's see here. It could help out Requisition Rate, so that's 2 cards. What else? Yeah, see, there's not much going for it. 3 cards with Hopeful Initiative. 4 cards with Officiant. 5 cards with the Patrol. Can help with the kicker cost of Strength of Coalition. Yeah, there's not enough cards. Basking Root Walla, not enough cards really to justify having Sol Ring in this instance because I only need 1 mana, which is the whole point. Brown Ufi, maybe draw for the draw Tree Speaker, maybe for that. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't. But yeah, I don't have enough really. Aside from say, like Axis Tunnel, maybe. I don't think it's enough, quite honestly. Yeah, I don't think I have enough to really justify Sol Ring, given the design of this deck. So basically, this is a personal challenge deck. This is my personal challenge that I'm doing. There's nothing really special to it. It's just to see if I can really pull off a good deck design, like this with something like this. I'm saying, just single mana straight across the board, which is hilarious. And win a pot or 2 with it. So it's just a personal little challenge to see how far I've come along with Commander. Just for those of you who are new, I started Commander last year around September when Retro Lotus Games first opened. Everybody was like, "Oh, you gotta do Commander," and I hadn't touched Magic Gathering in 13 years, so I missed out on a lot of Magic. So, Commander was a format, that everybody let me, walk me into, talk me into doing. And I had a very good sizable collection of Magic cards to pull off a deck. And, and as you can see, that's how far I've come. As you see above, I got like 17 decks now, which is crazy. 17 decks. So Kudo was just to see how far along I've come in terms of Commander and playing Commander, and how how I really stack up with everybody, because everybody's pretty top tier over there where I play at. Where I play Commander at, and I have been coming across some top tier players. So it kind of led to the big debate. If I want to really finalize the thematics of it, of being a 1 mana deck and get Rhys the Redeemed, since his color identity is green-white and fits in nicely within Commander rules, or if I want to stay on Kudo, who really affects everybody heavily, because that's the key factor here. Kudo affects everybody. So if anybody throws, say, some crazy big creature, that's a 10/10 creature, it's gonna become a 2/2 bear. And saying, like, if anybody wants to swing, the only major drawback though with regards to Kudo is that he doesn't stop +1/+1 counters or any +1/+1 boosts from enchantment auras and such. So players can still overcome Kudo's 2/2, but if they fail at it and they end up losing counters and such, well, then they end up with a 2/2 creature, whatever was at, which is pretty cool. But the reason why I also like that I like Rhys is because he could build an army and he could duplicate creature tokens. And as you see, I do have vampires in here. I could create vampire tokens, and I could duplicate that. I think that's yeah, that's pretty much it. But I would like to try and find any more. If I could find more more 1 mana cards that can produce creatures, then that would really give Rhys something big, and I could still drop Kudo if I want, or I could still keep Kudo and put Rhys into the deck. But I'd rather have, but I feel like Rhys would probably be much better because having an army of creatures, even though they are susceptible, their only one weakness is a board wipe, and even though board wipes are very prevalent and common in Commander, I could still attack with everybody at once and still be able to do significant damage, as opposed to Kudo, where I can end up with only one creature that attacks and can be easily blocked by a creature that could get +1/+1 counters or +1/+1 boosts and overcome Kudo's ability to turning creatures into 2/2 bears. Now you're probably saying, why? What do you mean by overcome? The key word is power and toughness 2/2. So this is the power and toughness, and any creature that has a power toughness will be reduced to 2. Meanwhile, my creatures will get boosted from 1/1 to 2/2 very easily. But that's the key facet of the whole thing. Because by playing Kudo, I had to take out this one creature I had, where he was getting a big boost and first strike. He has the same ability as the tree speaker, where he levels up and everything. But because I threw Kudo in, it was a complete waste, because even if he becomes a 5/5 creature, he's base. It's a base power 5/5. When he levels up to 3 with first strike, so he'll be reduced to 2. So, and I would like to put him back in there if I could get Rhys, and then that's that'd be the gist of it. So this is just standard fare, all out weenie combat. +1/+1 attacks. Lots of enchantment auras to help boost it, along with some equipment cards. Like Armor of Faith, +1/+1 boost, Unholy Strength, some good protections with Ethereal Haze and Quiet Purity. Some creature, even though there's no full-on creature wipe, there is some creature removal with the help of Path to Exile. Some +1/+1 counter gains, creatures with first strike. Let's see, what else? Yeah, and I got some search cards like Adventurous Impulse and the Commune cards. If anybody creates makes a well, they sacrifice a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. Great way to get rid of creatures. But yeah, that's another major drawback, is the fact that there is no board wipe whatsoever. So this is an extraordinarily fast deck. It is very, very fast. Hardened scales to add mana, to add +1/+1 counters. So it's a very, 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 very fast deck, and that's the other key issue here. See, because I have so much enchantment auras now, Generous Visitor is a lot more effective. Scoot Mob gets the boost, but Here it is. It's the creature is white and he's got the same type of abilities, but he gets a 5/5 first strike. So that's what makes it. That's why he's not in the deck because of Kudo. It's just a waste of time, you know, building up all that mana just to get a 2/2 creature, just like that. Yeah, I don't know if I want Escape Tunnel because, you know, it gets sacrificed. I might want to look for at something else. Nesting Grounds because there's some +1/+1 counters involved. A good chunk of +1/+1 counters involved. I can move the +1/+1. I can move counters around. Any counters, even the flying counter. Actually, because what's his name? He gets a flying counter. Let's see, where is he at? Because that's actually another big deal too. Yeah, see here, Guide of Souls. Plus, you put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter, and with the Nesting Ground, I can move a flying counter to other creatures, and they'll get flying. It's not just you know, +1/+1 counters. And not only that, but with hardened scales out in the field, with if you move +1/+1 counters around, I can multiply that. I should be able to multiply it according to hardened scales rules. Let's see here. Let's see hardened scales. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature you control, that creature that many +1. So with Nesting Ground and hardened scales out at the same time, every time I move a counter over and place it onto another creature, because I believe that's what it says here. Yeah, see, move a counter. So between that and hardened scales, between these two cards, I can move +1/+1 counters and become +2, +2/+2. And I don't think I can untap Nesting Grounds with Manifold Key. I don't believe I can do that. No, it's a untap target artifact. If there was a way for me to untap that, you know, that would be real nasty. but yeah. So there's some maneuvering, but if I do Rhys, then I could swing wide with a creature army, and I could try and find some more cards that could let me build tokens, token creatures, some more token creatures, which would be pretty good. So that's what that's the gist of it. Let's do some analytics. And then we'll go into Scryfall and see if we could find some cards to bolster it up. Let's see here. Here we go. Oopsie. Oh no, where is it at? There we go. There we go. I had to press that one. All right. So let's find the lands. Okay. Here's Kudo. We'll put him up there. We'll put Kudo to the side here, just for now. All right, so let's figure out just how effective this deck is. Okay. All right. Lands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 35 lands. We got 35 lands. To start with, okay, 35. Creatures. We got 1 being Kudo. Let's see here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We got 30 creatures. 30 creatures. Enchantments. Let's find those enchantments. We got Sorry, 31 creatures, because that includes Kudo. Enchantments. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14 enchantments. 14 enchantments. Sorceries. How many sorceries do we have here? Sorceries. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sorceries. We got 5 sorceries. Instants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. 7 instants. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 artifacts. No miscellaneous. We don't have any of the other cards there. All right. So that's our count. Let's just make sure. Let's calculate. Let's get the calculator up and make sure that's 100 cards. Total 35 plus 31 plus 14 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 100. Yep, that's 100 cards. All right. Now, let's check out the mana abilities. All right. These are cards with mana speed. Mana speed. Lands. We're going to have to look for the lands. That's got mana speed. Let's see. The lands are at the bottom. Let's find all those mana speed cards. That's mana speed. Enchanted creature has this. Gives enchanted creature. I don't know if I should count that. I mean, it is mana speed, so yeah, I'll count that. It grants it. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. I think that's the only. Oh, yep. Then here, the mana dorks. Here we go. And another mana dork. Let's see here. Everything's falling apart. What kind of show is this? Oh my gosh. Alright. So that's all the miscellaneous cards. And here is the lands. Escape tunnel goes to the side. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. All right, so 34 lands have mana speed. Creatures, we have the Findhorn Elves, the Joraga Tree Speaker, and the Llanowar Elves, so that's 3. Enchantments, we got Multani's Harmony and Wild Growth, so that's 2, and Sol Ring at 1. Alright. So, Escape Tunnel is the only card that doesn't have mana speed. It doesn't have any mana production whatsoever. It just lets me search and give me the ability to have a unblockable creature. Alright. Time for the mana curve. Should I really be, well, actually I do need to count because I have to separate the cards here. Actually I might not, actually I don't have to count. I could just subtract easily. I mean, do you want to count? Do you want me to count? Let's do the count just for the fun of it. Let's do the count. All right, let's here's all the 1 mana cards, and here's the 2 mana card. There we go. go. So there's all the 1 mana cards and the 2 mana cards. So let's see how many we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. We have 64 1 mana cards. 64 1 mana cards. Let's scroll that up. Let's see. Fill that in. And our commander. That's supposed to be red also. There we go. 63. That's really 63. And we have 1 2 mana card. There we go. And that's our CO. That's it. That's the mana curve. There's your mana curve, everybody. 63 1 mana cards and 1 2 mana card. And if I get Rhys, that would make it 64 1 mana cards and the commander on there. So yeah, that's a very lovely looking mana curve, if you ask me. That is very healthy. That's a very healthy curve. Okay, let's do the power meter, which is going to be very crazy. Here's 2. That's another one that's going to be crazy. The power and toughness meters here. Let's see. Let me get these out of the way and get to the creatures. Where are the creatures at? Here we are. All right, for power, we got 2 with Kudo here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0. 0 right here. 0. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This one is a little, yeah, this is a 1. 1, 1. Oh, never mind. These are going over here. Okay, so we got 1 0 toughness card here. So that's going to go right there. Okay. And then we have, here's our 1 power cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We have 28. We have 28 1 mana card, 1 power cards, 28. And we have 2 power cards. It is quite disappointing that I do not have a second 0 power card, because then I'll be full on Farquaad from I'll be overcompensating like Farquaad in Shrek. All right. Toughness. So it's mostly 1s and 2s. So we got 1. Here's 2 and 2. 1. 1. I'm going only by its starter point there, because I have to pay mana as an ability, because these are the result of abilities, but he starts off at natural 1/1, hence why he's going into the 1 piles. We got a whole lot of 1s here, but we do have some 2 powers. Or maybe those are the only 2 powers. Nope, here it is. Guide of Souls. Warden of the Inner Sky. Hoplite. There we go. And there we are. So this is a little different. So there's no zero toughness creatures. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we got 24 1 toughness creatures. 24. Okay. There we go. 24, which we'll mark over here. And for 2 creatures, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. 2 toughness creatures. Okay. Now we go to tactical. This is definitely this has been a very fun show today here. Let's see here. We're going into tactical. No, we aren't. So draw. What do we have for draw? Let's put all these lands to the side here. All right. We got cycling. That's not it. Here is Plaza, which also draws. Let's see here. It's a search. Also search. And a search. Okay. Those are searches. Maybe I should separate them while I have a chance. Yeah, I should separate the searches. Put the searches up here. Okay, search cards up there. Okay. This one is a mana producer. Yeah, that's a mana producer. Yeah, move those mana producers. This is a buff card. Let's see. That's buffs. Buffs. That recovers. That's a recover. It recovers itself. That counts. Let's see. More buffing. Healing. This one transforms. It doesn't go anywhere else. Let's see. If a enchanted creature would be destroyed. No, that's protection. Counter buff. This one recovers itself. This one destroys. That's for another thing. Okay, this is top decking. Destruction. We'll deal with those later. Destruction cards. Prevention cards. Exile. Deal with that later. Nope. Another destruction. Buff. Is another. This one top decks and draws. Well, this one draws actually, because it just lets you look. It doesn't let you keep a card. Let's see. So then that would go here. Let's see. This one draws a card. Nope. Nope. This one has a destroy effect. Gotta make sure to remember that. Prevent all damage. That's damage prevention. Let's see. Scry. That's a top deck. That gives you buffs. That's a buff. Trick manipulation. Tapping. Life gain. Explore. That's a top deck. Flying. First strike. Flying. Life gain. Flying. Buff. That's a counter. I'll have to look up Oofy and find out if that's a destroy. Buff. That touch. Buff. Mana. Okay. Okay. So, draw cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 draw cards. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Okay. Search cards. Here we go. These ones. Oh no, up here, right? Right. Because this is all top deck. Yeah, those are all top decks. This here says search. Search. Search and search. I got 3 search cards. Make sure. Yeah, okay. 3 search cards. Okay. I've got 2 cards that can recover themselves at the very least. So that's recovery, at least. And top decking, which is explorer, scribe, that kind of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's go into removal. Let's do removal. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let me just double check here. Let's see here. I just want to double check to make sure. Yeah, that targets. Let's see. I mean, Sensei is sort of a top deck. Well, it lets me put it back. It doesn't let me keep. That's the difference. Okay, so that's done. So this one exiles. So that's gonna go into the exile pile here. This is a recovery. Okay. Let's see here. Let me search. Counter. I'm gonna need to look up Oofy. Let me see here. Let me pull up Oofy. Let's see Oofy. Oh, I misspelled Oofy. How is it spelled? O-U. Oofy. Alright. Here's Brown Oofy. Mana abilities can't be countered. Right. Activated abilities contain a colon. They're generally written cost. Some keywords are activated abilities and will have colons in their reminder text. Alright, so it doesn't destroy. It just it doesn't destroy the card itself. It just stops the ability. So, alright. There we go. That's why I just wanted to double check. Make sure it doesn't go to the graveyard or anything. Or anywhere else. Let's see. This is a boost. Boost. Buffs. Buff. Buff. I didn't even consider if Basking Well is a recovery card if I pay the madness cost. Probably not. Let's see. Or another creature enters the battlefield. Nope. Nope. Gain life. More boosts. Trick play. Tap. No, it doesn't send cards to the graveyard. It's only whenever something dies. Let's see here. Equip. Let's see. Remove. Okay. Destroy. That just prevents damage. Let's see. Can't be blocked. Destroy. Exile. Prevent. Destroy. Exile. Destroy. That goes to the graveyard. This goes to the graveyard. Enchanted. Enchantment. Buff. Really? Interesting. Well, that's interesting. I thought I had, no, okay. I thought I had a little bit more to it. So this is it. To the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards that send to the graveyard. Alright. 5 cards that send to the graveyard. and 3 cards that send cards to exile. So yeah, it's there we go. All right. This is by far the quickest. This is probably the shortest analytics this is ever going to be, huh? bring Kudo out here. Okay, let's set Kudo up here. So, like I said, this is it's already been declared a weird deck from a member of my pod. So, so it's for 1 mana deck, full on weenie. It's fairly balanced here. Well, it's fairly good. 8 artifacts, 7 instants. Given the gross limitations of 1 mana cards, there's no access to Wrath of Gods and and the like. So it's a tough one to play. Not enough mana rocks in 1 mana outside of Sol Ring. Definitely the mana curve is 100% healthy. 63 1 mana cards and 1 2 mana card, which is the commander, which could change if I get Rhys the Redeemed and lean into that one instead. If I lean into Rhys, then this will move over and it'll be 64 1 mana cards, and you will see nothing else in this curve but a single tower. In terms of power, 28 1 mana creatures and 2 2 mana creatures. There's only 1 0 mana. I keep saying mana. 0 power. There's only 1 0 power creature, and that's just to gain a life gainer. And there's 28 1 power creatures. Total weenie. This is a pure weenie deck here. With and only 2 creatures. And again, Kudo goes. It'll just be Isamaru with the 2 power. And toughness, there's 7 creatures that do have 2 toughness. Subtract Kudo, now be a 6. But the rest are all are 24 with 1 toughness. So they'll stop, but Trample will definitely annihilate them and so on. In terms of resources, it's not bad. 4 access to draws, 3 cards that let me search. 2 that recover themselves, though I would like to find some more recovery cards. Top decking, cards that let me look at the top cards of my deck and do whatever I need to do. I got 6 of those, no problem. Removal is a big problem. I mean, 5 cards that single target a creature. Stone of Eric helps exile any creature that gets killed on the field. But I only have Source of Plowshares and Path to Exile to help me on in terms of single targeting creatures. So this is a deck that moves extremely fast and will basically collapse under its own weight if if I don't build up an appropriate army. If I stick with Kudo, then that means I have to try and lean into 1 creature. Probably 1 creature using equipments and auras to really boost to give them that boost. But even then, they'll become a very easy target, and I think that's a major drawback. That's a major drawback for this deck overall. So its weaknesses is staggering, but its strengths, which is speed, is something to that should be leaned into, and that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting as I start tweaking it more and more and more. But it's a fun deck, and like I said, it's a challenge. Saying a little weenie challenge to see how far I've come along as a Commander player since last year. Because it will be, let's see, it was like around September. I would say roughly September. So I'll be my first I'll achieve my first anniversary of playing Commander. So, how far along have I come? This is what it is. And it really did hold up because it frustrated a lot of players. It frustrated the pod a bit because Kudo keeps coming down and turning them into bears. But with Rhys, we're talking, army, and that could be another big difference. I don't know. It's a give or take kind of thing. So let's head on over to Scryfall here, and let's see what I can find. Let's see here. Creature, somebody that could create creatures like Rhys to Redeem on one mana. So let's take a look at this. Equal to 1. Mana cost. Oh, you know what? Should go with the mana cost here. Let's see. Actually, no. Let me stick to this. I'm picking white, aren't I? Well, let's see here. There's 539 cards, so that's too much to look for. So let me put in token. Token. There we go. And let's see here. All right, there's 26 cards that produce token creatures. Doom Traveler. When he dies, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. We got some instants. We have Crawling Chorus. Oh my gosh, look at the artwork on this. Dang. Toxic 1. Players dealt comic damage by this creature also get a poison counter. When Crawling Chorus dies, create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Wow. Okay. Let's see. But how about someone who could produce Herald of Anafenza, Outlast, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Outlast only as a sorcery. Whenever you activate, okay. This is a good one. Herald of Anafenza, Khans of Takir. He's a rare. He has Outlast, 2 mana and a white. For 2 mana and a white and a tap, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Outlast only as a sorcery. Whenever you activate Herald Outlast ability, put a 1/1 white warrior creature token onto the battlefield. That's not bad, actually. It's sorcery speed, but it's not bad. I could actually produce creatures with him. Here's another interesting one. Hazda Marshal. Whenever Marshal and at least 2 other creatures attack, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. That's nasty. So they stay out in the field, so that's actually pretty good. Rather than needing them to die. Ooh, what is that? Ugh, what is that? What is that? Is that a leg? I guess that's a leg. I guess so. Oh my gosh, don't tell me that's a dog. No, that's a dog. No. Oh, no. 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 Let's see. So those are the 2. Oh, and Speaker of the Heavens. Tap, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate this ability only if you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, and only anytime you would cast a sword. I would have to have 47 life. Alright. Usher of the Fallen, Boast. Create 1 mana and a white. Create a 1/1 white human creature token. Activate only if this creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. Okay. That's too much of a condition. I like the other 2 better. The Herald and Hazda. These are actually, well, yeah, he needs to attack too. But the thing is that when they attack is when the creature comes out. This one has too many. This one here, but bows. I have to attack. Already attacked. It's past tense. Whereas Hazda is happening during the attack. So that's interesting. There's no enchantment. The only enchantment is Legion's Landing, which is in the deck. That produces the creatures. So that means that these are all instants, or a creature has to die in order to make it happen. Interesting. Alright, let's see what green... yeah, green. Let's see what green has. Okay. 34 cards. Chatter of the Squirrel, I have that. I mean, it's just, I mean, it has flashback, so I can only get 2 squirrels out of it. Centaur's Herald, I would have to kill the Herald. This one only works once, Elven Bow. When it enters the battlefield, pay 2 if you do create 1/1. Then attach Elven Bow to it. No. Cloakwood Swarm, a Swarm Keeper. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter. No, it just only does +1/+1. Gelatinous Genesis, that's a sorcery. Gilded Goose. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. That's all it does, is create food tokens. Oofy, sacrifice a token, create a... no. What's this here? Gold Vein Hydra. Comes with +1/+1 counters. When it dies, create treasure tokens. Incubation Sack enters the battlefield with 3 oil counters. When remove an oil counter from Sack, create a 3/3 colors Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, I mean, it'll let me create golems, but then that's it. It's a dead artifact at that point, huh? I'd have to reset it. Now, this one's interesting. Llanowar Mentor. Discard a card. Create a 1/1 green elf. Creature token named Llanowar Elves. Maybe. I don't know. This one is actually good. Instrument of the Bards. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a Harmony counter on Instrument of the Bards. 3 mana green. Tap. Search your library for a creature card mana value equal to the number of Harmony counters on Instrument of the Bards. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If that creature is legendary, create a treasure token and shuffle it. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. And it goes right to the hand. But it's very high cost. Ovia Pashiri. Oh, there's Ochre Jelly. Ochre Jelly. Nah, I don't want X. No X. No X. It's gotta be just straight 1 pip. No multiple pip. No X's. Just 1 single pip. So this one is interesting. This one might be something to go for. Ovia Pashiri, Sage Life Crafter. 2 mana green tap. Create a 1/1 color silver artifact creature token. 4 mana green tap. Create an XX colorless construct artifact creature token where X is the number of creatures you control. Okay, this is a good card. Commander Masters. Ooh, hopefully I could find it. It's very cheap. All right, that's a card I could go for. Ovia. She can produce. She's an artificer. Interesting, rare green artificer. This one sacrifices. Put a 1/3 green creature. Instant sorceries. 1/1 green sapling token creature. Create. Let's see. Squirrel Dealer. Oh my gosh. Squirrel Sanctuary. When Squirrel Sanctuary enters the battlefield, create 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return Squirrel Sanctuary to its owner's hand. So, okay, that might be too much. Thallid. This one seems good. Swarm Shambler. Swarm Shambler enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter and it becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. 1 mana tap. Put a +1/+1 counter on Swarm Shambler. Okay, so he could get more Swarm Chandlers, and anytime him or a creature I have a +1/+1 counter on will gets targeted will result. All right, that's not a bad card for 1 mana. Let's see here. Sylvan Offering, that doesn't look good. What does he do? Whenever you create a token or put a counter, what is this? Oh, this is Unfinity. No, I don't want Unfinity. Thallid. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a spore counter on Thallid, remove 3 spore counters, and create a 1/1 Saproling creature token onto the field. This is actually a good card. Oh, that's a pretty good card. Just put counters on it and remove them from Thallid. Remove from Thallid. I wonder what happens if I move the spore counters. They probably don't do anything unless I have a card that manipulates spore counters. Utopia Mycon. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a spore counter. Move 3 spore counters and create a 1/1 sapling creature token. Oh, here's another one. So Utopia Mycon and Thallid. These are 2 good cards. And yes, and absolutely yes. If I have these 2, I can use the nesting ground to move the spore counter over to 1 and speed up the process. You know what I'm saying? Like I can move 1 over if I wanted to. So like let's say I have Thallid. I cast Thallid, right? Thallid gets you know, saying I get a counter on, get a sport, 2 sport counters, like a second sport counter on Thallid, and then I play Mycon. I can move the sport counter over to the Mycon, so that way he can, so I could get 2 green sapling token creatures at the same time. Yeah, that would make sense. That makes sense. There's a lot. These Thallids, man. It's interesting. Yeah, okay. So I wouldn't mind getting these 2 cards, the Mycon and Thallid, along with Uvia, who just instantly creates creatures on taps. Yeah, okay. All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah, yeah. So if I could get those cards, if I get those cards, then I can actually go wide and go with with creature tokens. Let me see here. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about it, but let me look up the colorless. Let me look up colorless. Let's go back to the view screen here. Let's look at colorless. Are there any? There's 14 cards that produce token creatures. Some of them just die. There's Dino DNA. That creates a copy of a target creature card exile with Dino DNA. Okay. Oh, okay. That's actually, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big Universe Beyond fan there, but Imprint. 1 mana, tap, exile target creature card from a graveyard, activate only as a sorcery. For 6 mana, create a token that's a copy of target creature card. Exile with Dino DNA, except it's a 6/6 green dinosaur creature with trample, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. I don't know. I mean, it's there. Let's see. Put an exile card with currency. This here's this one here. Retrofitter Foundry. 3 mana, untap Retrofitter Foundry. 2 mana on a tap. Create a servo artifact creature token. 1 mana on a tap. Sacrifice a servo. Create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And sacrifice a Thopter. Create a 4/4 colorless construct artifact creature token. That's an expensive card. $27 for that? This is $9. But this is actually a pretty good card. Actually, create servos and Thopters with it. That's actually a pretty good card. I wouldn't mind getting that at all, honestly. Spiked Pit Trap? No. Yeah, that's still. Oh, excuse me. That's the only. That's the only good card that could produce creatures. Unless I want to do Dino DNA. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it among those. So what's this here? Animation module. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a permanent you control, you may pay 1 if you do create a 1/1 colorless servo creature. 3 mana on a tap. Choose a counter on target permanent player. Give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. Oh, this is actually this is actually solid. And then so if I tap for 4 mana, I could pay 3 to put a counter on a I could give another counter of that kind, and I can use that 1 extra mana, the 4th mana, to create that 1/1 colorless servo. Because I'm putting a permanent on there. Okay. Let's see. If a +1/+1 counters are put on more than 1 permanent you control at the same time, animation module's first ability triggers once for each of those permanents. Nice. So if I have a lot of mana, like say 4 mana, let's say I have 7 mana. Oh wow. If +1/+1 counters are put on more than 1. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters. And I do have cards that do multiple in here. Where's that green one? Let me see if I can find that. Let's see if I can find it. When I kick it. No, here we go. No, not this one. Where is it at? Where is it at? It was in green. Let's see. Whenever a card like this happens. Yeah. Strength of the Coalition. Yeah, see, Strength of the Coalition here. It's got the kicker, and if I kick it, if the spell was kicked, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So I only have to pay 1 mana, because it says whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a permanent you control. Or more +1/+1 counters are put on a permanent you control. You may pay 1 if you do create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. And it triggers first once for each of those permanents. So if I do Strength of the Coalition, if I were to do Strength of the Coalition, and I put 5, 1 +1/+1 counter on 5 creatures, 5 permanents, then I could create 5 servo creatures. Yeah. Or if I were to use Nesting Ground and move a token, I can do the same thing on the cheap. Oh yeah, that would. Yeah, this is a card that I should get my hands on. Abilities that trigger when counters are put on a permanent. Trigger when a permanent enters the battlefield with counters, and when a player puts counters on a permanent. Okay, abilities that trigger when counters are put on a permanent. Trigger when a permanent enters the battlefield with counters. Okay. And when a player puts counters on a permanent, you can pay 1 mana only once each time animation module's first ability resolves. You can't pay more to create extra servo. So it's a one-time thing. That's great. So if I play that card, I kick it on 5 creatures. I only have to pay 1 mana and I get 5 servos. Okay, I want animation module for Kudo. For this deck, I definitely want that. Especially if I move the tokens around, because it says placed on a permanent you control, or put in this case here. They reword it as put, but it's the same context. So anytime a counter gets put, and it's any counter, I could get that. Oh yeah, that's sweet. Oh man, that's actually sweet. So yeah, there's so if I wanna do Rhys, then those are the cards I should go for, so that way I can produce more token creatures and manipulate more counters and do counter manipulation. That should be able to help me build an army that gets pumped up, and I could be able to swing at my opponent. So Kudo may end up getting kicked out if I get Rhys, so that way I can be able to focus on it. Unless I want to incorporate Rhys, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think Rhys should be the commander, so I could produce the tokens as soon as possible and make multiple copies of tokens when I get the chance. So I think Kudo is going to be short-lived. It's going to be short-lived, and I will have a true weenie 1 mana weenie deck running amok here. I don't know if there's any creature wipes, if I could be able to find any. I'm not sure about creature wipes, but in terms of focusing on that strategy of making an army with +1/+1 counters and swing at my opponent, that's the way to go. So I could find some, cheap 1 mana cards that can, help me. Well, we'll see what happens. So there we go. That is Kudo, King Among Bears, green-white, 1 mana weenie commander deck. A personal challenge of mine. Yep. I hope you like it. Comment, like, subscribe, follow, you know you want to. And head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com and grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the links below in the description. Grab yourself a copy of the book, enjoy, and you'll find other links in the description for other merch such as pins, stickers, t-shirts, and music. Help yourselves. Thank you for your patronage. And if you're interested, you could join me on my live multi-stream. Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to hanging out with you then. So until the next tech analytics, I thank you all for joining me. This was Kudo, King Among Bears, Weenie Deck, Weenie Commander. I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.